Hello everyone. Today we'll be building eco-friendly travel planner. So basically, let's start with the index.html file. So we'll just create the HTML file and name this one index.html. So just give me a second. So yeah, let me create the CSS file as well. I'll just name the file style.css. I'll just close this one. Let me come to index.html file. Let me create very basic HTML template and I'll change the title to eco-friendly travel planner. So next step, I'll be linking the style sheet and give the path and name style.css. Next, what we'll do, let's start writing the HTML code. Initially what I'll do, I'll just create the div tag. This is going to be the parent div tag, parent div, and let me give the class name of container, right? So next, let me make use of h1 tag and I'll just copy the same thing, eco-friendly travel planner. I'll just paste it over here, right? Next step, let's make use of the form tag. I don't need the action, right? So I'll just delete this one. Let me make use of the ID and let me give travel form. Inside the form tag, what we'll be making use of? Let's make use of the select tag. Before select, let me make use of the label, right? So I'll just give label for, let me give mode also. Let me give select travel mode. There will be different travel modes, right? So let me give the label and let me give select travel mode. So after this one, inside the select name, I'll give name and ID, both let me give mode itself. And within the select, let me make use of the option, right? Let's give 6 option. So I'll just give option and so 6. So value for the first one, let me give car. Second one, train, plane, bus, bike, and walk. So here, let me give the same option. Car, train, plane, so bus, also bike, let me give walk. So these are all the options. This is it for the select and option within the select. So next, what I'll do, let me give label for, I'll give distance. So here, I'll just give distance in kilometer, right? So what I do, I'll just give this one. So after the label, let me give input type will be number instead of the text, ID, let me give distance, name also, let me give distance. So this, let's set required. This is required, we cannot leave this empty. So also, let's make use of the button. I'll just name this one, calculate carbon footprint, right? So I'll just make this one type of submit, right? Next, after the closing of form tag, I'll just make use of another div. Let me give ID of result. Basically, the result text will be displayed within this div, right? So this is it for the HTML. Let me format the document once. After this, let's start writing the CSS. So I want to make use of the Poppins font. What I'll do, I'll just open the Chrome. Let me search for Poppins font, right? I'll just click on this one. Let me click on get font, get embed code, import. I'll just copy this one. I'll close this one. Let me paste it over here. Just give me a second. Yeah, let me paste it over here. So next what I'll do, I'll just make use of the universal selector. Let me give margin 0, padding of 0, box sizing, border box. Also, let's make use of the font family. This will be Poppins. The primary font will be making use of as Poppins. If something goes wrong, we'll be making use of sans serif, right? Let's design for the body next. Body, let me give background of linear gradient 135 degree. I'll just take these two colors, 89, F7, FE. You can take any colors. I'll just take these two colors instead. Right? Or did I miss anything? And 7, FE, right? Sorry. And the secondary color I'll be making use of is red. So display, flex, justify content, center, align items, center, height, 100 view height, also color, and be making use the color white. Next, let's style for the container. I'll come here, I'll just copy this one, then paste it over here. For the container, I'll give background RGBA of 255 thrice and 0.1. Next, let me make use of the backdrop filter. Let's use blur of 10 pixel, right? Next, let me give padding of 20 pixel, border radius of 10 pixel, box shadow of 0, 4 pixel, 6 pixel. Let me make use of RGBA. Instead of 255, I'll be making use of 000 this time, right? So this is it for the box shadow. Next, text align, center, width 100%, max width of 800 pixels. So this is it for the container. Next, let's style for the H1. I'll just come here. I'll copy this one, paste it over here. Within H1, I'll just make use of the margin bottom of 20 pixel. Also, font size of 50 pixel, right? Next, let's make use of the label. Right here, I'll come here. Let me copy and paste it over here, right? Display, block, margin, 10 pixel, 0. Let me give 5 pixel. Also, font size, 20 pixel, color, let me give light color. This is it for the label. Next, let's style for the select as well as the input. I'll just come here. Give me a second. Select, let me copy this one, paste it over here. Select as well as the input, right? Let me come here, input this one, and I'll just copy this one and paste it over here. So width, let me give 100% minus 20 pixel. Also, padding of 10 pixel, margin bottom of 20 pixel, border none, border radius of 5 pixel, font size of 2 rem. So this is it for the select and input. Next, let's type for the button, right? I'll just go here. I'll copy this one. Give me a second. Oh, yeah, I'll just copy this one. Button, padding, let me give 10 pixel and 20 pixel horizontally and vertically. Background, let me make use of 4CA F50. Also, color, let me give white. Border none, border radius of 5 pixel, cursor pointer, transition, background of 0.3 seconds. So let's style for button on background 45A049. So I have just given the darker background color on hover, right? Finally, let's style for the result. This one, ID of result we have given for the div, right? And just paste the same thing here. Margin top, let me give 20 pixel. Font size, let me give 30 pixel. Font weight 600. Color zero. The same color, right? I'll just format the document once. Yeah. Next, what I have is I have installed an extension called Live Server. This one. So what this does is, whenever we make changes in the index.html file, right? So the changes gets directly reflected in the browser, so that we don't have to reload the page again and again to see the changes. This will be very helpful. You can use it as well. I'll just close this one. Let me come to index.html, right click and click on open with live server. So let's wait for some time. So yeah, initially this is showing inside the select we have given these options, right? Car, train, plane, bus, backend, bike and walk. So this here we have to enter this one in numbers, right? Basically. So what we are doing with the help of JavaScript, we'll be calculating as well as displaying the estimated carbon emission, right? So just give me a second. Estimated carbon footprint we are calculating. So I'll just open the VS Code and let me create the JS file. So I'll just place the JS file just below the ending of the body tag, right? I'll just make use of the script and give src index.js. I'll just move this one to the right side and let's start writing the JavaScript code. Initially, what we have to do, I'll just add the event listener to the form that listens for the submit event, nothing but this one form, basically, right? I'll just come here and just make use of document dot get element by ID travel form, where this travel form is coming from here, right? I'll just copy same thing and paste it over here. Let me add or attach the event listener. We are making use of submit. I'll just call the function. Let me pass the event. So after this, what I'll do, first step will be preventing the default form submission behavior. For that one, I'll be making use of event prevent default. Next, let's get the selected travel mode as well as the input distance value. For that one, I'll be making use of variable name, mode, and let me give document get element by ID of mode, right? Where is this mode coming from? Let me make use of this one. So I'll just copy this one, paste it over here. Also, we have to take the value, right? So I'll just give value. This is just value. Also, let me make use of the variable name, distance. Let me give document dot get element by ID. So I'll also make use of what I'll do. I'll also make use of the parse float so that we are getting the result in the floating point integers, right? And just make use of this get element by ID of distance. Where is this distance coming from? Basically here, not this one. Give me a second. ID of distance from the input, right? I just copy this one and paste it over here. Let me give the value here. So what we have done here, we have got the selected travel mode as well as the input distance value, these two things. Next, what we'll do, we'll check if the distance is valid number and whether it is greater than 0 or not. For that one, I'll be making use of the if condition. So I'll just come here and give is none of distance or distance less than or equal to 0. Next, what I'll do, I just make use of alert. I'll give please enter a valid distance. So next, let me just give data, right? So after this, what we'll do, we'll calculate the carbon footprint using the selected mode as well as the distance. This one, selected mode as well as the distance. So for that one, I'll just make use of the carbon footprint. Let me make use of the function calculate carbon footprint. So we give the parameters mode as well as the distance. So here we haven't written the carbon calculate carbon footprint function yet. We'll be writing that one in the future. So let's display the calculated carbon footprint in the result div. Which result div that I'm speaking of? This one will display within this div, right? So what I'll do, I'll just make use of document dot get element by ID of result. Where the result is coming from? Here, ID of result we have given within this div. I'll just copy this one. Let me paste it over here. So I'll just make use of the inner text and let me give estimated carbon footprint, and let me give carbon footprint to fixed of 2. We are displaying the two decimal numbers by making use of 2 fixed of 2, right? We have already given parse float, if you remember here, this one, right? So we are making use of 2 decimal numbers. kg, I'll just make use of CO2. This is 2, sorry. Yeah. So this is it. What we have done, we have displayed the calculated carbon footprint in the result div. This one, this line. Next, what we'll do, we'll write the function to calculate the carbon footprint based on the travel mode and distance. We have already made use of the calculate carbon footprint here, right? So we'll be writing the function and just make use of the CSS and so calculate carbon footprint mode and distance are the parameters. First, what we'll do, will write the emission factors for different travel modes. I'll just comment this one and write emission factors for different travel modes. That is nothing but kg CO2 per kilometer. I'll just make use of the variable name emission factors car. I'll give 0.21 kg CO2 per kilometer, right? For the train, it is 0.05. For plane, this will be 0.18. For bus, this will be 0.09. For bike, this will be 0.01. For walking, nothing, right? Just 0. So here I forgot comma, I think. Just give me a second. Yeah. Next, what we'll do here, we'll calculate the carbon footprint by multiplying the distance with the emission factor of the selected mode. In simple terms, I'll just give a return distance into emission factors. Within the array, I'll just give mode or 0. This is it. Just give. So here, this one, this braces has to get closed here. So I'll just format the document once more. So yeah, now let's check. So here, this is showing car. Let me choose car. Let me give 400. Distance, right? Estimated carbon footprint, we are getting 84 kg, right? For the same thing, if I use train, if I select train, it will be 20 kg C, estimated carbon footprint. Also, let me select plane and give 560, some random distance, right? So this is showing 100.80. Let's check for bus, 50.40. So bike, let me give some random distance. I'll just give 700. So this is 7 kg. And also for the walk, it has to give 0 every single time, right? So yeah, everything is working perfectly. This is it. Thanks for watching, guys.